The disciples gathered beneath the Bodhi tree, listening to the voice of the Buddha. His presence was serene, his words profound. Javaka, the royal physician, sat before him, seeking wisdom beyond medicine. He bowed deeply, awaiting guidance from the enlightened one. Buddha gazed upon him with gentle eyes. Javaka, healing extends beyond the body. True medicine alleviates suffering in all its forms. Javaka nodded. Master, I treat wounds and sickness, but sorrow lingers in those I heal. How do I ease such pain? Buddha smiled. The mind suffers when clinging to health and longevity. Attachment fuels distress. Acceptance brings peace and clarity. Javaka pondered. How can a healer guide the mind toward acceptance? My hands treat flesh, but the spirit remains troubled. Buddha lifted a lotus flower. This bloom is perfect today, yet tomorrow it withers. Such is the nature of all things. Javaka watched the flower's delicate petals. Master, decay frightens many. They seek permanence in a world destined to change. Buddha spoke softly. Impermanence is neither curse nor blessing. It is truth. To understand this is to dissolve fear. Javaka sighed. People cling to illusions of control. How do I teach them to embrace the inevitable? Buddha pointed to a flowing river. Does the river resist its course? It flows, surrendering to nature's path without struggle. Javaka contemplated. A river knows no fear, but the human heart resists change, dreading the unknown. Buddha nodded. Desire breeds suffering. Release desire, and suffering fades. Healing begins when the mind relinquishes attachment. Javaka asked, must all desire be abandoned? Without longing, do we not lose purpose? Buddha replied, seek balance. Compassion guides action without binding the soul to expectation. Javaka reflected, so healing must be free of attachment, yet driven by compassion? Buddha smiled. Exactly. A physician treats without fear of failure, knowing health and sickness are transient states. Javaka bowed. Master, your words illuminate my path. But what if I face doubt? How do I remain steadfast? Buddha gestured toward a towering tree. This tree stands firm, yet sways with the wind. Strength lies in flexibility. Javaka considered. Master, I wish to embody such wisdom. Can healing be an act of enlightenment? Buddha's gaze deepened. To heal is to serve. Service rooted in wisdom transforms the healer into a guide of suffering. Javaka asked, is suffering always present? Can it ever be eradicated? Buddha's voice was calm. Suffering exists, but understanding lessens its grip. Knowledge of impermanence eases distress. Javaka sighed. Some reject impermanence, fearing loss. How do I teach those unwilling to listen? Buddha lifted a hand. Patience is the healer's virtue. Guide gently, like the sun-melting morning frost. Javaka smiled. Master, I see the path clearly. Medicine must touch both body and mind. Buddha nodded. True healing transcends the physical. It restores harmony where suffering clouds the heart. Javaka bowed deeply, gratitude filling his soul. Thank you, Master. I will practice medicine with wisdom and compassion. Buddha's voice was soft. Go forth, Javaka. Heal with understanding. Serve without attachment. Through wisdom, suffering will lessen. Javaka stood, carrying Buddha's teachings within him. His path as a healer had transformed. His purpose was clear. The disciples watched as Javaka departed. The Buddha sat in silence, his presence radiating boundless peace. Another day, the sun rose above the mountains, casting golden light upon the earth. The air carried a scent of blooming lotus. Buddha sat beneath the great tree, his gaze steady, reflecting the serenity of his thoughts. Disciples gathered, eager for wisdom. A scholar approached, his robes heavy with dust from distant travels. He bowed deeply, eyes filled with longing for understanding. Master, he spoke, voice trembling, My mind is restless, burdened with thoughts of mortality, suffering, and the nature of illness. Buddha smiled gently, his voice a stream of clarity. Tell me, scholar, what is illness but the imbalance of existence? The scholar furrowed his brow. It is the decay of the body, the weakening of flesh, the fading of vitality. Buddha lifted a fallen leaf, turning it between his fingers. This leaf was once vibrant. Now it has dried. Is it suffering? The scholar hesitated. It is the cycle of nature, not suffering, but simply change. Buddha nodded. And yet, when the body changes, you lament. Why do you see nature as peace, but the body as grief? The scholar breathed deeply. Because the body is mine, my own suffering, my own mortality. That makes it personal. Buddha placed the leaf upon the earth. You claim ownership over what was never yours. The body is but a vessel for the mind. The disciples listened intently, their thoughts unraveling in the quiet space between words. The scholar lowered his gaze. Master, does illness have meaning? Does suffering serve a purpose beyond pain? His voice carried a tremor of uncertainty. Buddha studied him with kindness. Suffering is the fire that refines perception. It teaches the impermanence of all things. The scholar sat upon the earth, hands resting upon his knees. But suffering brings anguish. How can one endure without despair? Buddha extended a hand toward the rising sun. The light does not fight the darkness. It simply rises, dissolving the shadow. The scholar considered the words, his breath steadying. So acceptance is the path forward? To embrace suffering without resistance? Buddha inclined his head. Resistance deepens suffering. Acceptance allows the mind to transform hardship into understanding. A physician among the disciples stepped forward. His hands bore the marks of years spent healing others. Master, I mend bodies. Buddha observed him with warmth. And what do you mend within yourself? Does healing others bring you peace? The physician sighed. I fear that illness always returns. My work feels endless, yet I do not cease my efforts. Buddha traced a pattern in the dirt. A river flows, never remaining the same, yet it nourishes all who drink from it. The physician listened, his pulse slowing. So I should not seek permanence in healing, only the relief of suffering? Buddha touched his heart. Relief is the kindness given in the present. Expectation of permanence brings sorrow. The physician bowed. Then healing is more than restoring the body. It is offering understanding, peace, and the moment's respite. Buddha smiled. You have seen clearly. The mind, like the body, requires balance. Healing must embrace the impermanence of existence. The disciples whispered among themselves, the teachings settling within their thoughts like ripples upon still water. The scholar closed his eyes. Master, how does one free the mind from the weight of fear? I tremble before the unknown. Buddha picked up another fallen leaf. This leaf does not cling to the tree, yet it does not fear the ground. The scholar watched the leaf, his fingers tightening around his robes. But I am not a leaf. My thoughts resist simplicity. Buddha chuckled softly. You see separation where there is unity. A leaf follows its nature. So must you follow wisdom. The sun climbed higher, illuminating the faces of those gathered in search of truth. The air remained calm, carrying Buddha's words. The scholar exhaled, his expression softening. Then I must learn to release my fear. To see each moment without resistance? Buddha nodded. To see life as it is, without grasping or rejecting, is the path to liberation from suffering. The disciples reflected upon these words, feeling their burdens lighten, if only for a moment of clarity. Buddha closed his eyes, his presence radiating peace. The body may falter, but wisdom endures beyond its years. The scholar pressed his hands together, bowing deeply. I understand, Master. Fear dissolves when wisdom takes its place. Buddha opened his eyes. Then go forth, heal not only with knowledge, but with understanding that transcends flesh. The disciples stood, carrying the teachings within them, woven into the fabric of their own journeys. Another day, another lesson, another step upon the path of awakening. Another day, the breeze carried the scent of jasmine, weaving through the ancient trees. The disciples gathered, their hearts seeking wisdom. Buddha sat upon the earth, eyes steady, hands resting with serenity. The sun painted soft golden streaks upon the distant hills. A healer approached, his robes worn, his hands marked by years of tending wounds. He bowed, eyes filled with quiet uncertainty. "Master," he said softly, "I mend bodies, but suffering always returns. Can true healing exist when all things fade?" Buddha lifted a bowl of water, watching the ripples. "Does water cease to quench thirst because it cannot last forever?" The healer frowned. "No, but it does not prevent thirst from returning. Relief is always temporary." Buddha placed the bowl upon the earth. The purpose of water is not permanence. It is to nourish in the present moment. The healer breathed deeply. Then healing is not about erasing pain, but about easing its burden? Buddha nodded. Healing is the kindness given in the present. Attachment to permanence deepens suffering. The disciples listened, their thoughts shifting like waves upon the shore. The healer lowered his gaze. "Master, what of those beyond healing? When the body weakens, when death nears, what remains?" Buddha turned his gaze to the sky, where clouds drifted. The body is like the clouds, forever moving, forever changing. The healer hesitated, but when the clouds vanish, is there nothing left? Buddha smiled gently. The sky remains. The essence of life is beyond the vessel that carries it. The healer's breath steadied. Then even in death, something endures? Buddha inclined his head, not in the form you grasp, but in the harmony of all things. A young disciple stepped forward, eyes full of searching. "Master, how does one prepare for the end?" Buddha observed him with kindness. "The end is only feared when one clings to the illusion of ownership." The disciple frowned. "But my life is mine. How can I not hold on to what is my own?" Buddha picked up a fallen leaf, turning it in his fingers. "Does this leaf belong to the tree after it has fallen?" The disciple watched the leaf, expression uncertain. "No, but it was once part of it." Buddha placed the leaf upon the earth, and now it nourishes the soil, giving rise to new life. The disciple's breath slowed. "Then existence is not lost, only transformed?" Buddha nodded. "No wave is separate from the ocean. No life is separate from the whole." The healer bowed deeply. "I understand, Master. Healing is not merely of the body, but of perception." Buddha looked upon the gathered disciples, his voice steady. "To see truth is the greatest healing. To free the mind is the path forward." The disciples pressed their hands together, bowing with reverence. The wind carried their silent understanding into the vastness of the world. Another day, another lesson, another step upon the path of awakening. The river continued to flow, its current carrying forth the wisdom of generations. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.